There is a mission in you. And when you choose to accept it and go all out to accomplish your mission, goals, and dreams, not only will you will change the world. This video is brought to you by Fortune International Seminars, where our vision is to unlock the hidden potential of individuals, groups, and organizations to help them achieve their goals and objectives. Get our contact information in the description below. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live and post a video. Like the video, comment on the video, and share the video. Let's go get it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am on with none other than my special guest, very special guest, near and dear to me, near and dear to my heart, someone that I know, love, and trust, none other than Woobie, aka Lyn-Dee Eldridge. Lyn-Dee, welcome to the channel.
Scott, thank you so much. You know, we go back a little bit long ways, and since 2017, and I had been watching Fortune International grow and inspire so many people. I am so thrilled to be here with you. You are a very special person in people's lives when they allow you in. How about that?
I appreciate that. I'm going to be honest with you. You are the person that inspired me to put this channel together. I just launched my first video, Woobie, on YouTube last week. And it's funny because when I created the channel, I didn't do anything with it. It just sat there. I didn't feel like I had anything to say. I got in that comparison gap, right? Man, they speak a little bit better than me. They have a better message than I do. So I clammed up and I did not do anything. And anyway, that first episode was called The Power of Choice. And I had a choice in my life last week to either move forward with this or delete it altogether. So you really have a lot to do with this because you have had me on your show, your channel, The Happiness Jungle. I believe at least 2 times I've been on your channel. So this is all because of you, believe it or not.
Oh, well, thank you. And you've also been on my podcast, I'm Crazy, But You Can't Lock Me Up.
We are going to put that in the description below. You are still doing those podcasts and everything. So we want people to get access to your podcast channel. So look, you and I are touching bases again. You know, I recall the first time I met you and what impact you had on my life with your story. So what are you up to? What's going on?
You know, a lot of great things are going on. Life is nothing but one heck of a roller coaster, and I am very happy and blessed, and I don't take it for granted. I am now on the roller coaster like this versus like that, and we all experience the roller coaster. So when you're at your low, that is the time where you just need to pause and you really need to think, and you really have to mastermind what is it that's going to make you the happiest. And once you figure that out, and hopefully you have a mentor that has helped you with that, because that's what we need. We always have to mentor up in life. So now that, you know, my roller coaster is going back, I'm enjoying this because every day we don't know what we don't know. So I live my life every day as it is the gift that and present that it is. Tomorrow is no promise. The next minute is no promise. I think that we've all learned that, whether it was through COVID, all this tragedy that's going on in the world. So I am very happy to share with everybody that not only is Cuddle Me Love, which is my body pillow, is now comforted over thousands of people around the world for all different reasons. And Scott, I'm going to go out to you right now because Cuddle Me Love, as I reached out to you, I was working with a nonprofit like I do. And this was for the Myers Center in Greenville, South Carolina. And it was for 104 special needs children that were going to receive a 4-foot Cuddle Me Love body pillow. And you were one of the sponsors. Fortune International, Mr. Scott, you donated and sponsored 10 pillows, which meant that it comforted 10 of those children. So thank you.
Yeah. I'll tell you, when I heard about your project, it was a no-brainer. It was nothing to think about. And when you brought this to my attention, that's the right thing to do. I'm going to tell you, one of our mentors always tells us, what's one personal goal, what's one business goal, what's one social goal, what do you want to give back to society, and it was Horseman that said, be ashamed to die till you've made some contribution to the world. And when you came to me with this, it was just a no-brainer, and I'm so happy. In fact, I am shooting this broadcast right now from Camiguin Island, Philippines. And do you know that I actually have the thank you letter from that organization with me?
Wow.
You shared who I was with them, and that really makes me feel good. It makes me feel special that I was able to be part of it. So what's going on with your pillow? And
yeah, so let's just talk about how this pillow occurred, because the one important thing in life is that I really want people to understand, and I speak about this on the stage, is you got to live life on purpose. It's not what happens to you, it's what happens for you. So in 2017, I was diagnosed with the breast cancer, and I was married, and my marriage was struggling, but my former husband and I did not want a divorce. However, when I found out I had the breast cancer, I felt like it was time to reconcile. If he didn't want a divorce and I didn't want a divorce, and I just found out I had the breast cancer and that's all I knew, I wanted to be held at night. So I met up with him and I shared with him the news. And it was very hard. It was only 3 hours after I found out that I had the breast cancer. And I looked him in his eyes and I asked him, do you want a divorce? And he goes, I don't want a divorce. And I said, I don't want a divorce either. I think that we've been separated long enough, and I'm going to share something with you. And I think it's time for us to reconcile. And when I shared the news with him, long story short, he couldn't handle it. And I had to forgive him for his weaknesses because I was abandoned. And when this happens in your life, you have to make a decision. Are you going to move forward? You have no choice. And you were just tackled with finding out you have the breast cancer. What does all of this mean, right? So I never looked up God, and I never said, why is this happening to me? Oh my God. I never did that. I always looked up and I said, what is the purpose of the breast cancer? What is the purpose of this shattered marriage? What is the purpose of this all? So 3 weeks into radiation, my former husband and I, we got a divorce. I forgave him for his weaknesses. Like I said, you have to learn forgiveness, people. You got to learn forgiveness. It's for you. It's not for the other person. I knew when I heard the doctor say you are to remove all stress off your plate. This is your time for healing, and you need everything that you have. And you have to stop eating sugar. Dessert. I'm a dessertaholic. So when I found out that the two things that cancer, period, doesn't matter if it's breast cancer or any other kind of cancer, it thrives on stress and it thrives on sugar. So I knew that I had to do something, and I had to make the right decision for me. And I realized that after being married for 14, or being with him for a total of 14 years, that if he can't be with me at this time, it didn't make any sense for me to stay married. And I have a saying, I'm like, if you're going to be alone, it's better to be alone than to be alone and right beside somebody.
Wow.
So we went ahead and we got a divorce. I looked up at God. I'm like, my goodness, what is the purpose? So here it is. I ended up creating a pillow for me, just stuffing a pillow. I'm very creative, and I created a pillow that hugged me, and it replaced my former husband. You see, things in life can be simulated, and unfortunately, even human beings. And I replaced my former husband with this pillow that I made. And I was on stage sharing my story. And as I'm sharing my story, that you could get through anything and everything, no matter what, because I'm a very positive person and I like to have a positive attitude towards everything, right? It's not easy. I cry, I have emotions and everything, but I was on stage sharing my story. And I told them about the pillow. And I wrote a book about the breast cancer journey. From the second that I found out I had the breast cancer all the way to the very first follow-up checkup, the 1-year checkup. So I wrote a book, and the purpose of the breast cancer was for me to write this book that's called Squeeze My Tatas. You're only one mammogram away from knowing. And in the back of the book is a positive workbook for your mindset, because your mindset will help you heal. And the book isn't a woe's me. I just take you through my journey. So that was the purpose of the breast cancer. I now speak on a lot of medical stages. When there's a mammogram convention, they call me in to speak. And that's the purpose. Well, what was the purpose of the divorce? It was this pillow that held me and cuddled me. And when I was on stage just sharing my story, everybody wanted this pillow. Scott, when I got off the stage, there were people that were coming towards me with their wallets out, credit card in hand, so much so that I looked back to see, where are these people going? What are they buying? You know? And only to find out that they were running towards me because they wanted to purchase this pillow. I laughed and I said, guys, there's no pillow for sale. I just shared with you the pillow that I made. And if you saw this pillow, it was like Frankenstein. It had stitches. I mean, it was just the pillow that I created. And then the next day I decided that maybe I should create this pillow. So I did. And it took me 1 year. Now, we all know who Damon John is on Shark Tank. I was down in Miami. We are students for life. We are students. So when there is a very big event that I'm attracted to, mentors always, or people always mentor up, right? That's right. It was Grant Cardone, 10X. And I said, oh my God, Steve Harvey was there. Bethany Frankel was there, Skinny Vodka, you know, and a few others. And Grant Cardone's wife. Great. And all of a sudden, now I'm just starting to think about this pillow. How do I do it? Who do I work with? Right? All these questions. That's right. Mr. Damon John comes on stage and he starts talking. And I said, and this is why I'm here. And he was running a program called Rise and Grind. And I joined that program immediately. I invested. People think that they shouldn't invest in themselves. They think of it like a tattoo investment, right? There is good investment, there is good debt, and there's bad debt. And when you are investing in yourself, that's called good debt. When you're investing in a tattoo or, you know, that's called, well, happy debt, bad debt, right? Because happiness is only a thing and an object. So I went ahead and I hired Damon John and his team, and I learned about trademarking and about working with China and import and export and investors and all of it. And I went to town, and I, you know, through the who do you know process, I ended up putting it all together. I found my China manufacturer that I absolutely adore and love, and I will miss dearly. And I could share that story with you again. But I just went into town. It took me 1 year. And originally the pillow was called the Happiness Jungle Emotional Support Body Pillow, because that's what it was for me. It was an emotional support. And so now it's Cuddle Me Love. There's a 6-foot pillow because I can make it better after the first one that was only 4 foot. But something happened. The pillow started taking a life of its own. People were starting to purchase the pillow because they had a bad back, because they had a bad leg, a bad hip, a bad arm, a head injury, brain injury, from the small to the large. All of these people, and they're coming back and they're like, my God, this pillow is unbelievable. The comfort of it. I was like, what? So what was the purpose of the divorce? Cuddle Me Love Body Pillow. And everything that I do in my businesses is all around comfort for others. So it's like the puzzle just kept on fitting into one another, right? My first entity is called Happiness Jungle. That's my speaking and my mentor, my authoring platform. And then I have Cuddle Me Love, which is the comforting pillow. That is unbelievable. Can you believe it? Thousands of people are now comforted with the Cuddle Me Love body pillow.
How does that make you feel? Deep on the inside.
You know,
Let's go there. How does that make you feel?
It's warming. It's warming. When you help enough people get what they need and they want in return, you will always have what you need and you want. Who said that? Zig Ziglar.
You alluded to something earlier too about the cost of that event, right?
Yes.
And that's the vast majority of people look at that and go, wow, that costs too much. What am I going to give up to have to pay for something like that? But you're mentoring up. But the question should be, what will it cost me if I did not attend
Excellent.
that? Where would the body pillow be? Cuddle Me Love body pillow be without you attending that event?
Exactly. So when you show up, be prepared that you may want to invest in yourself. Not that you have to, because you don't have to do anything. You could keep living the lifestyle that you want, but you may not be satisfied with it, but you're not going to mentor up because you would much rather go get a tattoo for $300 than to invest in yourself. And I don't mean any harm to anybody, and I'm not judging anybody, and you go ahead and spend the money the way that you want to. But when you think about what every time you say, I can't afford that right now, I have to ask you, what are you thinking about? How old are you? And, all of it. It's just the turntable. So there are people like the 6-foot body pillow. I have to share with you that I'm overwhelmed with my last testimony that came in a few days ago. Now, I don't know where these pillows go. Sometimes I meet the people and sometimes I don't meet the people. I get a email from a woman whose daughter was gifted the 6-foot body pillow. This was just last week. And she said, Woobie, I cannot share with you how grateful I am that my daughter was gifted your pillow. She is now a paraplegic whose leg was amputated. She has not been able to rest comfortably because there's been multiple pillows, and every time she turns, they move. Your pillow is a God-sent blessing. And I think, and I know that every disabled person needs your pillow. Whoa. How is this possible, right? It's all because it started with a need for me. And if you have something that has filled you and you created it, think of how many other people it could help. People say to me all the time, how come you don't go on Shark Tank? And I said, because this pillow wasn't created for profit. It was created for comfort.
Wow.
Now that there's 1,000 people that are comforted all over the world, I feel really great with that. So much so that if somebody wants to come and buy Cuddle Me Love, let's talk. I'm 62 years old. Let's get real here, right?
Wow.
So if somebody was really interested in it, then I would be very open to the discussion, because the foundation and the reputation of Cuddle Me Love is priceless. Priceless. So when we think of our life and we think about where we are today, and you're using something that you created that is helping you do whatever, think about, could this help others? Now, it's not an easy road. You're going to have to work it like I did. Cuddle Me Love starts. COVID hits. I'm no longer on the stage of speaking with the pillow. People have to touch it and feel it. They have to understand it's just not a picture. I'm thinking to myself, oh, I have 1,000 pillows. What am I going to do? And I thought about it, and this is called reinventing yourself and be able to shift with your shifts, because that's what happens in life. We get shaken up, right? And all of a sudden you're dizzy. Just stop and pause and go, how can I possibly? I'm not speaking on the stages right now. All the stages are closed. Everybody's doing Zoom. What am I going to do? I'm driving, Scott, here in South Carolina, and all of a sudden I see tents, craft shows. So I thought to myself, what is this all about? I mean, I've been to them, but I've never looked at it as a vendor, right? Mm-hmm. So I go and I check it out and I meet the host of the event and I said, I have Cuddle Me Love body pillows. I showed her the brochure and I would think, how does this work? She goes, well, you pay $45 and you have a tent. We prefer white tents and you could sell your stuff as long as we approve it. I said, really? So now in my mind, I'm thinking, now I get one-on-ones with people. They don't have to wait for me to come off the stage and talk to me. And I said, okay, how do I set this up so people could try it? So I go to Walmart and my thinking cap is on real strong. And I go and I get a queen size double high blow up mattress. I said, that's it. So I'm at the event, right? So I go and I have my tent and I've never put up a tent before. You should have seen how I looked putting up a tent.
You are clever. You are clever.
So I go ahead and I set up the tent. There are gentlemen there and they said, do you need help? And I said, boy, do I need help. And they came and they helped me with my tent. Now I'm a pro. Now I just take it up and down. And then I blow up the mattress, right? And I put a nice blanket on it. And then I put the pillows on it. And I'm like, what is happening right now? And now the people are coming. So I have to figure out a way, how do I attract these people? And I'm in South Carolina. I'm in the Bible Belt. Are people going to really get into my bed? You know, all these crazy things that I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work, but I think that it's a pretty brilliant idea. So we're going to go with it. So because I'm a motivated speaker and a trainer, I have a wheel. Everybody knows what that wheel is, right? The wheel with the different colors.
That's right.
I call it a positive affirmation wheel.
Okay.
And I ask you to come and spin it. And before you spin it, I want you to say, I am. And whatever it turns on, you're going to claim it. And it has great and awesome, number one, a blessing. All positive affirmations are on that wheel. So that's how I was attracting people to my booth. Would you like to come and spin my wheel, a positive affirmation wheel, and get a prize? I got these prizes at the Dollar Tree store. They were rings, they're whistles, they're party favors.
Wow.
I get rings. There were, I think, 16 came in a bag for $1. Everybody likes something. I like to bring out the childlike in people.
So true. So
the children are coming, they're spinning the wheels, we're laughing. And then I looked at the parents and I said, can I just share with you about Cuddle Me Love? Just so you know about it and you may know somebody that could use it. And what are they going to say? No to me? I just had them spin a wheel. We just shared smiles. Their kid just got a gift. Yes, they're going to give me a minute of their time. And then I take the pillow and I'm like, feel it. So they're feeling it. They're like, oh my God. And I'm like, you want to try it? They're like, no. And I said, okay. So then I would take the pillow to them and I'm like, pretend you're laying down. And I did the demonstration and they're like, oh my God. I said, I know. I said, you should really try it on the bed. And now they're in the bed and they're purchasing it.
You know what, Woobie? Sitting here, I'm literally imagining myself sitting in the audience with you on stage. I love your stories. Your stories are like, I'm literally turning pages as you're speaking. you
Mm.
just have powerful, fun, loving stories. You know, you take us at points and you don't keep us there long through some of the doldrums of life, but you bring us out of that. And it's those happy moments, and your stories are just so powerful. You relate them to every aspect of your life. It's clear
Mm.
you have a lot of passion for this pillow. I just love listening to you speak. I
Oh,
just love it. Just like, you know, when we were in Florida, you know, you
mhm.
sit there and you're captivated, and your stories are, thank God you're not a rehearsed one of these rehearsed
No.
speakers that come on stage where you wind them up and then you let them go and they're like, this one time at band camp I had this flute, and then, you know, you just come off so authentic, so pure. um
Oh,
and I just love it. You hit every emotion, um and I just love it. I
I
am
appreciate you, Scott.
I
Thank you
have to
so
tell you, even the pillow, you see, my dad used to tell me all the time, man, you better be careful. Your kindness, people are going to take your kindness for a weakness. I get it, but you're just kind-hearted. The
much.
pillow you gave me, and I knew that I was boarding a flight to leave the country to come overseas. I couldn't bring the pillow with me. I was a minimalist, right? But I was able to bless someone with your pillow. And I'm
Mm.
actually going to get them on my channel, and we're just going to talk about it. I'd like to surprise them and bring you on, but you have
Oh,
a lot of passion, and I just love it. God
yeah.
bless you for doing everything you're doing.
Well,
Seriously.
thank you. You know what's really funny, Scott, is that, thank God for the pillow. And please go to cuddlemelove.com, check out the testimonials, because they're going to blow you away. Every one of them blow me away. I'm just so, I'm honored. I'm honored to be able to comfort people.
Mhm.
But here's the deal. So I get here to South Carolina, and because the stages aren't open up, Scott, nobody knows that I'm a speaker. Nobody knows that I'm an
No.
author. Nobody knows what I'm capable of sharing in an audience and making a difference, right? They know me as the pillow lady. So I'm like, oh my God, I got to turn this around. People's got to know who I am, because now 2023, the stages are open up. I want to be back on the stages. You want more production in your company, please bring me on. I'm an entrepreneur. I own my brick and mortar businesses. I became very successful, one company in multi-level marketing. I know what I'm talking about on the stages, right? I don't have to rehearse. I don't have to be scripted, because what I share with you are things that are in my life,
It's
right?
already in you.
I'm from the street of hard knocks. I grew up in a toxic home. I got married at 18 to get out of the toxic home, only to end up in domestic violent relationship. I was a single mom when my baby was 15 months old. I became an entrepreneur. I met my second husband, moved to New Hampshire, really became the author there, and really just exploded who I am and what I do. And then things happened. And now I'm in South Carolina. I became a caretaker of my wickedly mean mom. Rest in peace, Mom. But it's true. Her name was Hurricane Francis. People know her all over the world. So I'm very relatable, because I share my stories of how I survived every chapter of it. And I love the journey. And I don't like to be staying in the woe's me. Just
Woobie,
know that I get it,
thank you. Let me
I'm
tell you,
mental.
all of us, all of us were affected by this pandemic. A
What did you do
speaker
with
that
it?
you and I both know, love, and trust, Luke Bonenberger. He talks
Oh,
about he talks about you know, when you hit rock bottom, what, you know, physically, emotionally, spiritually, when you hit rock bottom, sometimes that is the best place to be. When you're
mm,
in war, the best place to be at times is in a trench where you can get below the noise, get below the direct fire.
mm,
And you talked about reinventing yourself. When that was going on, yeah, sure, you're not on stages. That's where you thrive. Your message,
mm,
people love your message. That's what you do. But because you were in this low point because of the pandemic, You were reinventing yourself when a lot of other people were giving up, throwing in the towel, saying, woe is me. And to all you listening to Woobie and this powerful message, smile sometime. You're not the only one with problems in the world. Sometimes you just got to get out of your own way and smile. It's look, everybody's going through something, but it's what you do in the trenches. And let me tell you something, that is not going to define you. That does not going to define who the person is that's going to come out on the other side of that. You listen to this powerful story. And Luke talks about that. Sometimes when you're down there, just pause and take a look around and reinvent yourself, Woobie, like you did.
You know, Luke is amazing. He had brain surgery. We didn't even know if he was going to survive. We were praying for him, you know, and, you know, now he's married and he has a beautiful baby, right? But we all go through stuff. What are you doing with it? Are you acting like a victim or are you thinking like a warrior? You need a mentor. We need help.
Yes.
We have to remain students for the rest of our lives in order to grow.
Yes.
And I know that I mentor up, and I know that I help those that want to be where I am today. And it's a blessing, but you have to qualify. I don't just take clients. I don't chase money. If a client and I are not syncing and I don't feel that this client is really ready for where I am going to take them, then I let them know, you're not ready for me. You'll be ready for me maybe in 6 months, but you have a lot more to do, to work on before you come to me. Because I can't give people permission to steal my happiness and joy and take me all the way back into the darkness. I give people permission to hold my hand, and because you said I'm ready to move forward, I'm ready to help you. I didn't say it was going to be easy, and I'm willing to take you through it all, but you have to be ready for my caliber of energy and training. And I don't mean to sound pompous or anything. I just can't go back into the dark with you.
Well, the personal growth is, yeah.
And what I mean by that is, you know, when we go through life and we're like, you know, I'm leaving, and then you're like, but they said they were sorry, and you go back. I'm not in the mood.
Yeah, that's right.
Finish up that chapter. Finish up that chapter. Get my book, Tears of Fears Behind Closed Doors. Again, not a woe is me. It's how to get out of a domestic violence relationship and how to move forward with your life. You see, all I am is a storyteller, but it's my story.
That's right. That's right.
No one could write my script. No one could play my part in well, they may be able to play my part in the movie, but just do you, boo. Do you, boo, and make sure that you're happy with what you're doing, because it's not an easy road to success.
You got that right. And you do need a mentor along the way. You absolutely do.
100%.
You know, I'm not going to get into dollars and cents, but I even have a mentor right now. And we all have to. Even the mentors have a mentor. Our mentors have a mentor. And it is necessary in order to grow. And see, that's the problem with the vast majority of people too. They say their personal life is messed up, their business life is messed up, their financial life is messed up. They want to get right to that, but really we have to look at ourselves and grow ourselves so we can grow out of that mess. We have to start right here. If you want to change your fruits, you have to change your roots. And that's how you do it, by working with a mentor. And I'm gonna, you know,
and if you keep failing at something, you have, oh my God, you have to ask yourself, me too. I got the notes too. Because I love you. I get so inspired from you. Scott, honest to God, you have no idea how much of a light you are in my life and throughout my process of everything that I've gone through since 2017. You have no idea, because you are a man of great worth to me. You have accomplished things that I'm like, wow, I want to learn that.
Yeah.
See, in this wonderful life of ours, we get to pick our colleges. Scott is one of my professors. How about that?
I
You
appreciate
know,
that. And
so
this is all you right here. The last time you and I had a conversation. Viewers, listen. When people speak, don't just speak to respond. Listen. I think this is as quiet as I've ever been on one of these recordings we've done to put on YouTube because I'm soaking it all in. I want to be a sponge. And if you're listening to Lyn-Dee, just remember, Woobie, I'm sorry, just
That's all right.
remember, information without application leads to fascination, but information with application leads to transformation. These golden nuggets that Woobie is dropping on this channel right now, these will transform your life for the better. I mean, I could sit here and listen to you all day, but at the same time, I'm doing things. You know, it was you just a few days ago, last week, in fact, that encouraged me to go ahead and put my prices and my coaching packages on my website. Sometime, you know, I would think I have to play little. I don't want people to, man, go, wow, does he think he's crazy? No, I put them on there because we had the value that we bring to the table, all of what we have gone through up until this recording amounts to something. It amounts to something. So yes, I don't want everybody either. I have a process that costs you money if you want to, where we're going to just do an interview, and it is going to cost you money. But Woobie, it was because of you. I got the courage to put my pricing and add some value to my services. And honestly, all of these folded sticky notes are from our conversation. And you just add so much value every time we talk. I mean, I want to come back and do this again with you.
I do too. But here's the deal. Okay. If you go to college for however long, 4 years, and you've invested all that money and you get out of college and now you could state what you're worth because you have a college degree. Well, guess what? I've invested in myself and I picked my professors. I picked the Jim Rohn, the Zig Ziglar, the Maya Angelou, the Jack Canfields, I mean, so many of the greats. I was a personal student when they were alive. I invested in myself. So when you think about how much money you have invested in yourself to become who you are and who you want to be, you get to charge that too. Because when I'm on stage, you get a piece of Zig and Jim Rohn and all of them because they're inside of me. They're inside of me. They've helped me develop who I wanted to be. They help me understand, who am I? That's number one. Who are you? We get lost sometimes. You know, in 2017, Scott, when we met, it was Mr. Les Brown's event. And I don't know if you know this story or not, but when I walked up, I was very broken again. Very broken. I was having challenges. And there's a picture that I ended up taking with him, and you could see I am broken because in life we break. It's what do we do with this, right? And I just remember going today and this whole weekend, I'm just a student. That's all I want to be. I don't want to talk. I just want my ears and my mouth closed, but my ears wide open. And I'm just intently, because I got to find me again. That weekend brought me back. It brought me back and it was delicious. And that's where I got to meet you. And there was like 700 people there. That was a big event. And, you know, it's just amazing when you give yourself permission to accept the fact that you're human and you could break, but you also have to give yourself permission to take ownership for the things that you contributed into the break. And once you learn this, you can move forward because you got a great story to share with others that will resonate with your story.
You showed up. You showed up.
Showed up.
You showed up.
That's it. I showed up. I showed up broken. And when I got there, they told me that the event was filled because I didn't register. I just found out the night before that the event even existed. I became a caretaker of my mom. I paused my business life for 21 months. And I really couldn't afford to do it. However, I needed to be selfless and take care of my mom, who abused me growing up. That was my choice, but I knew I had to do it. And that's when I found out that Mr. Les Brown, who helped me in 1986 realize that I had greatness within me, was in town 30 minutes from me. How could I not go? And God was on my side. Now, whatever your spiritual being is, whatever your religion is, I coexist in this world, but I know that there's a higher power, and the higher power had my back, and there was no question about it. So I'll share this with you. I found out Mr. Les Brown was going to be in town for 3 days. I had no idea what was going on. I just knew he was going to be there. I found out 12 o'clock the night before. My mom was in the hospital and she was supposed to be getting discharged that next day. And I had to figure out, can I get somebody just to sit with her at home when I bring her home from the hospital, right? All of these things were because I wanted to. I was hungry. Like he says, you got to be hungry, right?
Right.
I was
That's right.
hungry. So I go to the hospital at 7 o'clock in the morning, knowing that the doctors probably come in around 9 o'clock, but they told me they were going to discharge her. So I wanted to get her and bring her home and get to Les Brown. Come to find out that the doctors came in, they said, oh, we don't like how this test ran. We're going to run another test. And they went on for this for another 2 hours. I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, what's going on here? The doctors come in and it's a Friday and they said, you know what? We think it's a good idea if we keep your mother all weekend. Really? Really? And I looked and I said, Mom, you're in the best place you could be with the best care that could be given to you. I have to go get taken care of. I'll be back. God kept, I swear, because there was nothing wrong with her. I mean, there was things wrong with her, but don't tell me it wasn't God. And I left that hospital and I bolted 30 minutes to get to Les Brown. And I walk in and I go to the front desk and I'm out of breath. I mean, I ran from the parking lot. And I get to the desk and I look at this cute little blonde woman that's sitting there. And I said, hi. And I said, Les Brown, because I followed his banners, right? Les Brown is here. And she goes, yes, he is. And I said, I got to get in. I'll do whatever it takes to get in. And she looked at me. She says, well, I'm sorry that this certification is already filled up. This was in July. You'll have to come back in October. Oh, no. Oh, no. One tear just flew right out of my eye. I said, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. I need it. I need to get in there because I'm very, very broken. I am so shattered, broken. I'm broken. And he helped me in 1986. And I feel like I'm just that broken again. Please. And she looked at me. She says, stand right there. Don't you move. Stand right there. And I said, okay. So I was standing there and I looked up at God and I said, please don't fail me now. And I said, I know, I'm going to get in. And I looked at her and I said, I don't care what it takes. I will give you my vehicle outside. I am telling you, I need to get in here. So whatever the cost is, investing in me was the most important thing. So I look up and she's gone. And I'm like, give me a sign, God, just give me a sign. And I turn around and at the end of the hall, who do I see walking towards me with no bodyguards? Mr. Les Brown himself. I said, put yourself together and don't sound like a schmuckering idiot, you know, crying and everything.
That's right.
So I try to compose myself as much as I can. And I went over to him and I said, Mr. Brown, my name is Lyn-Dee Eldridge. Back then I wasn't Woobie yet. My name is Lyn-Dee Eldridge. And you helped me in 1986. And I became stronger and I'm broken again. And I need to get in this room. And he looked at me, he goes, really? And I gave him a red heart that I give everybody.
Yes.
And he spoke with me for maybe 3 minutes, but I didn't cry to him. I really came from my heart and he knew it. And he gave me a hug. And here comes the little blonde. And she just looks, she says, oh my God. And I looked and I said, there is a reason that you had me stand here. And Les looked at her and said, get her in. And I paid dearly. I think I paid 10 grand. I had 3 credit cards and I looked and I says, I don't know how we're going to make this happen, but let's start trying. Try this amount on this card, try this amount on this card, try this amount on this card. And there I was. And I walk into this room and I'm so ready to be a student. I'm like, oh, I'm in. Now Mr. Les Brown is sitting at his table. I decided it was close to lunchtime. I was going to go stand in the corner. So I wasn't going to go try to find a seat. I would have been a distraction. No, I don't want to distract. I'll just go think. All of a sudden, I hear this woman from the stage. I didn't even know it was his daughter, Ona Brown, say, where's that woman that just walked in? And she looks, she says, come up to the stage. I had no idea why. She said, talk. Go up there and talk. I was like, what do you want me to talk about? I missed the whole assignment. I don't know what everybody else just did. She said, just talk. And I got up there and I shared my story in 3 minutes. I was broken in 1986, and it was Mr. Les Brown that said, you have greatness within you. Don't you allow anybody to tear you down. You respect yourself. If you ever fall on your back so you could always look up so you could get up. I'm like, whoa. My life went on and I became an author, a speaker, a mentor, a business owner, an entrepreneur, owned 2 brick-and-mortar businesses, became very successful in multi-level marketing, and now helping others do the same. 2017, I'm broken again, and I'm broken. And that's why I'm here. Mr. Les Brown, I'm back as your student. I never left you as your student, but I'm here. And all of you gave me a standing ovation. And I was like, what? Mr. Les Brown was the first one to stand up and give me the standing ovation. And that was it. That's all. Sometimes that's all you need, is to be around like-minded people who want to pick you up, not squash you down. And I could feel myself. I could feel my heart just gravitating and feeling love by people I didn't even know. You see, it's not about the people that you know. It's about the new people that's going to enter your life, that's going to make a difference in your life. And if you learn one thing, you can love people from afar. If you are around people and you are distracted all the time and you're always negative, you are one of the 5 people that are in your circumference, in your life. And if you don't like how they're acting, I want you to go look in the mirror, because you're acting the same way. You can change. You can change. But it is up to you to finally flick that switch and say, I'm ready. And when you're ready, that's when I appear.
That's right.
I enjoy speaking on your stages because I could help thousands at one time versus one. So when somebody asks me to mentor them, I'm very, very selective, because I want to be on the stages affecting many to be better at whatever it is they want to do. When I speak to the decision maker, I ask them, end in mind. What is it that you want your audience to take away? And if I feel that it's inside me, I let them know you're looking at the right speaker.
That's right.
I got your back. And if I feel like, no, I can't even resonate with this, I let them know, because where you are, time is precious. Time management is very, very important. Be where you're going to want to be. That's going to make you happy and joyful and not suck the energy out of you. So I love my stages. And then when I'm on the stages, if they want me to do workshops, I love doing workshops because everybody's ready. We are all in the same mindset. We all want good. We all celebrate each other, you know? So one of my favorite stages to be on, see, people don't think that they sell. Everybody sells. Everybody sells something, but everybody says, I hate selling. I'm the worst sales. Are you really? Are you really? Now, I have made millions and millions and millions of dollars selling. So this is what I train on. And you know what it all comes to? Listen more than you speak. Care about the person that's sharing what they want. And as they're speaking, even though you heard it 1,000 times from other people, don't interrupt them. Allow them to share what they want and what they're looking for. And if you have it, make sure you bring it to them. And if you don't, never say no. Say, you know what? I'm not quite sure if we have that or not. However, let me look it up and look up a solution for them, because that person will come back to you because they trust you. You are honest with them. You heard them, right? And now let me just go right to a close. I'm going to go right to a close because a lot of people have trouble closing. I have no trouble closing anybody, because here's what happens. I share with them now the information, what I have. And as soon as they say, okay, that's what I want, I duct tape my mouth and I put pen to paper if it's an order form, and I start writing the order. And when I'm done writing the order, I say to them, now that you've gone ahead and you've purchased this, may I share with you the other benefits that come along with it?
Brilliant.
Instead of, okay, well, I'm glad you want it, but let me tell you about the other benefits. And
That's right.
Right. So when you're a closer, listen more than you speak, watch body language, and get ready to close. And I love closing. I love it because I've just given somebody something that they really did want.
We are going to put your contact information, every angle to get a hold of you, in the description below. Cuddle Me Love, because yeah, someone's going to look at this video and go, I want her at our next event. I want Woobie at our next event. So we're going to provide that for you. Woobie, I'm going to continue to sit back and listen to you talk. Give us some closing wisdom, some closing remarks. And that you know, I already know that whatever you're going to say is going to resonate with me, but go ahead and take us out of here, because wow. I mean, I can listen to you all day. You get in flow, unscripted, and you still get in flow. You just pouring out what's, you know, been poured into you. I still have goosebumps on me. I really appreciate you. I love your message, and I love the impact. You don't only just speak, you really speak to my heart. And there's a lot that I learn and gain from that. And then I actually apply and will continue to apply in my life as I'm becoming, you know, looking to become so much more. But hey, it's all you. What do you want to tell us?
So, you know, in closing, let me just share with you that you are an individual and you have very, very unique qualities. If anybody has told you that you're, you know, you have a lot of junk in your trunk, it's time to turn off that noise and really find that positive space where you could grow and learn more about you. I had to learn more about me. I had to appreciate my teachers. Learn that investing in yourself is good. Learn that mentoring up is a part of your life forever. and realize that no matter what you want to do and what you want to be, as long as you learn how never to give up and to understand that shift happens and you have to adjust your sales accordingly, you could have everything and anything that you want in life. It's amazing what happens when you turn off the negative noise in your life and you pursue with truly wanting happiness and joy. That could be in your personal life and it could be in your business life. And I'm very, very happy to say I am succeeding at both my personal life as well as my business life. But I am very serious. You know, when you have a business and it already has proven itself, that's what other people want. They're looking for companies to purchase, right? Companies that have stood this test of time, have proven their great worth, have the testimonials and everything. So I am going to throw it out there in the universe. If anybody is truly interested in talking to me about possibly purchasing Cuddle Me Love, licensing Cuddle Me Love, I would love to talk to you. Absolutely. Because it is a healer and I've already started the wheel rolling for you. So that's that's several numbers of what I have to share. The most important thing is that when you hire me to speak on your stages and I ask you the end in mind, that's what I'm focused on, not my whole story. If you're looking for your audience to become better in sales and building the relationships that it takes to do that, that's what I talk about. If you're looking for customer service and building relationships and cold call, that's what I'm going to talk about. I can't share my whole story in the matter of time that's on your stage. So when you call me and you share with me what it is that you want your company to get, what the audience wants, that takeaway, I promise you that if I feel that I'm the fit, I'm going to give it. And people are going to walk out and you're going to see immediate effect. Not gradual, but immediate. Because when people take action, it shows. And I look forward. Look, I don't know how much longer I have on this earth. I'm 62 years old. And not that that's old. It's not old. But the fact of the matter is I am 62 years old. And when the good Lord takes me back, I promised him I'm coming back empty. I promise. So all of my lessons that I've learned in life of how to survive, I got you. I have you. Just like Scott has you. Scott is amazing. And I cannot wait to be on the stages with you again, Scott.
We're definitely going to make that happen. I'll be seeing you sooner than you think. I'll be heading back soon. So when I get back in the States, we're definitely going to link up because I'll be operating in your area. Okay.
Yeah. You're never too old to start over. I was 57 when I had to start over. I'm going to leave you with this. My Happiness Jungle entity was created because of a warning. What do I mean by that? You know how when somebody's angry at you and they throw a warning at you? Well, I was warned, again, by my former husband, that we were wealthy. But he warned me that after working with him for 14 years, that I was going to have to go and find a new way to create an income because he needed the money for other things. I'm like, what does that mean? So I went to the stream in New Hampshire, my favorite stream, and I just had to sit there and pause and really think it out and cry. I was crying. I'm like, what does that mean? And I looked up and I said, what does that mean? What's the purpose of this? What does it mean? It was clear. I heard the voices. And if you'll just listen, it's like the movie The Secret. That's when I realized what the movie The Secret was all about, because I heard it. And I heard the voice and they said, you're a happiness angel. Go spread your wings. You'll figure it out. So I went home and I called my editor. My editor was too busy. She sent me over to her digital marketer in Pennsylvania, Glendon. I told him my story, not complaining. I love animals and I like happiness. Because he said, tell me a little bit about you. I love animals and I love happiness. And he says, what's the name of your business? And I said, Happy Now. And he said, was that the name of your business with your husband? And I said, yeah. And I said, we've been in the happiness mantra now for quite a long time. And he said to me, you can't have that name. Well, what do you mean I can't have that name? It's a Happy Now. And he goes, nope, You got to break the ties. You just told me your story. You got to break the tie. He said, let me call you back. I got a bunch of logos. I have a bunch of names that I haven't even, they're just there. I created them and they're in the drawer. Let me call you back. He calls me back in 3 minutes. And he says, I have it. And I said, you do? I said, what is it? He goes, Happiness Jungle. I was like, I like that. I like it. That's how the Happiness Jungle was created. When I put together the Happiness Jungle and I said to my husband at the time, okay, I figured out a way for me to make another income. I'm going to be okay. And I don't know why you said that. And of course, there was emotions and everything, right? But I wasn't angry. I was disappointed. And that's another topic we'll talk about, how you could adjust emotions. But I wasn't angry. I was very disappointed. But I knew I had to take actions because it was a warning. And then he said to me what most people say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I was angry. I was in a rage. I was dealing with He says, I didn't mean it. You don't have to start another entity. We're fine. And I said, whew. I said, well, you know what? I said, I love you and I forgive you. And I know the things that you're going through, but you know what? You warned me. I take warnings very seriously, Mark. I want to move forward with this. You could join me. You want to join me? I don't even care if we rename it. I'm willing to do that, but I'm not willing to not do it. Well, I'm now divorced and Happiness Jungle is thriving and alive, mentoring, speaking, and my authoring platform. Can you imagine if I said, okay, honey, you're right. I won't do anything. You said you were sorry. Take warning seriously, guys. And if the warning doesn't, come to face and things, happen for the better, like my former husband and I, we didn't break up then. Can you imagine if I said, all right, honey, that's okay. I would have been out desperately on the street. Do you understand that? So take warning seriously, understand forgiveness and love, but always move forward with what you feel in your heart is the right thing to do. Not because you're looking to hurt anyone, because you're looking to make sure that you are protecting you, because you are your best shield. And I'll leave you with that. How about that?
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. Woobie, aka Lyn-Dee Eldridge. Thank you so much for joining us on this call. Please get her information in the description below. Hire her to speak at your next event. Be ready for what she's going to bring to the table. This has been amazing. Thank you again for joining us here. I really appreciate this. I mean, I could literally sit and just listen to you. And that's good for me because I run my mouth way too much. Hey, listen, if you want it, you can get it, no matter the hours or sweat you put in it. If you speak it, you will reap it. So go on, go after it, and go get it. And when life deals you its blow, step up and say, oh, heck no. Lean forward in the trench and fight for your mission, goals, and dreams. All right. Take care, everyone. Take care.